Hey guys, welcome. Vlog number 6, sick fish is the topic. I'm Bobby G, let's talk. Alright, so I think it was 2 days ago, on the 21st, the 23rd today, I noticed that one of my fish was sick, and I'd seen her, it's a female, as far as I know. I'd seen her over the last maybe even 6 weeks. One of my albino eucysii kind of getting a reddish forehead, and I kind of thought, well, that's a little bit weird. I didn't know if that was just kind of normal for this fish, although I have plenty other ones. Anyways, it kind of got worse and a little worse, and then it was almost like you don't know if you're really seeing things or not. It was like, well, it's almost forming like a bump. I'll show her to you in a minute. And then 2 days ago, rather than just being this, what got to be a fairly large bump, certainly not like a flower horn bump, but fairly large. On the one side, on her left hand side, she ended up, it almost looked like a zit, like a white head on it. And so I had kind of looked at that and went, wow, I need to take her out. So it was a few hours before I took her out, and in the span of a few hours, it turned into more than just a bump. It almost turned into like a hole, and there was also a couple other little holes. So I thought, well, maybe it's hole in the head disease. So I did a tiny bit of research. Pretty much all that comes up is like Oscars and discus and stuff getting this hole in the head disease. So I'm not sure if it's very common in African cichlids, but so I scanned through some of the meds that I do have. I have a fairly large jar of, I don't even know how to say this stuff. I call it Metro. I think that's what most guys call it. Metronidazole or something. Hopefully I said that close enough. Anyways, it speaks of being good for hole in the head disease, lateral line disease, among others. And I've had success in treating other fish ailments before with this medication, so it's kind of a go-to for me. I do have quite a stash of other meds, but this one has been the one that's been most effective for the things that I've tried to treat with it. This is 500 grams of this, and I'll show you in a second here, but I've got her in what I affectionately call a homeless pail. Kind of funny, haha. It's a Home Depot pail, and it's just a really quick way to set up a spot for an ailing fish that needs to be on their own. If you don't have a tank set up, it doesn't need to be pretty. You just use anything you've got to keep her in. So I threw a sponge filter in, a seasoned cycled sponge filter, and no heater, because down here in the basement, the tank temperature without heaters runs just around 24 degrees, maybe a little bit lower. So that's fine for her. Generally I do have heaters in my tanks. I run them between 25 and 27 degrees. Not to get too sidetracked here, but I like to keep my fry tanks a little warmer. I think they grow faster. And so anyway, so she's in this homeless pail. She's been there 2 days. She actually looks a little bit better. I'm going to take her out. I'm hopefully going to be able to just scoop her out with my hand and show you what I'm talking about. I've got my little crew here, Miss Zoe and Mr. Reggie. I'm sure they'll be able to help. So let's have a look at her. So this here is the species I'm talking about, the albino eucicii, the flavescent. They're really developing nice. I don't even have the nicest male in this tank anymore. Got the less dominant one, and he's showing some good promise too. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's a female, but let's have a look down in the in her homeless pail, and we'll see how she's doing. So this is her her homeless pail, and you know, I've stopped feeding her. I think it's easier to treat a fish. I mean, she's fine for 3 to 5, even 7 days without food. It's easier in a small container like that, so the water doesn't foul, and so I've got the Metro in there. I've also tripled my dose of salt that I put in. So rather than using 1 tablespoon of salt per 10 gallons, I've used, basically I've got in, I think I put in like a tablespoon in that 4 or 5 gallons of water that's in that pail. So I'm hopeful that that will also help. Like I say, she's looking a little bit better, but let's scoop her out and I can show you what I'm talking about better. Yeah, I also meant to mention that I do have that pail sitting on top of a piece of styrofoam, and I don't want it sitting right on the concrete floor because that'll make it colder and it wouldn't be warm enough. So let's pop the lid off. Well, you can see too what I do is I put a label on the lid just so that I can remember exactly when I started treating. Part of the treatment process for this is to do a water change every day, and then redose every day. I think it's for a minimum of 5 days, providing they're doing okay, of course. So there's her little sponge filter, just a simple, a small sponge filter. Put that up out of the way for a moment, or down on the ground, I guess. And we'll see, she's pretty easy to catch. Not really, like I said that in one of the other videos, these flavescents, albino flavescents, they don't really seem to have a great, they're not as feisty as some. So let's have a look at her, and maybe I can get a bit of a close-up on her. You can see her head has some sores on it there, I think. And, you know, I'm really looking for advice on this. I don't know if that is in fact lateral line and head, hole in the head disease or not. You know, I think it looks a little bit better, but she's certainly not out of the woods. You know, I don't want to spend months treating her with this med and that med, and you know, I often find that doesn't work out very well in the end. You just find you end up losing the fish eventually anyways. They have a weakened immune system, and they'll always be sick. So yeah, so I think a couple of minutes ago I was talking about, you know, having 500 grams of this, and the dosing for her is this is a 1/4 teaspoon for 40 gallons. So that would break down to like a 30, let me just see, a 16th of a, yeah, a 16th of a teaspoon, a super small quantity. So I have an 1/8 measuring spoon, and I fill it approximately half. Hopefully that's a decent, oh, thanks for helping me out, guys. No, that helps. Yeah, thank you. Anyways, I hope that's a decent dose for her. I hope she gets better. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, shh. Yeah, they listen well. Well-trained dogs. Right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, please let me know in the comments what you think. You got any tips for me? Is the water okay at 24 degrees? Should it be warmer for this kind of a treatment? Just any suggestions that you might have. There's lots of other things going on in the fish room. I've determined that I really suck at cutting glass, but I'll save that for maybe vlog 7 or 8. I also haven't forgotten that I want to talk about, and I think it was maybe episode 4, I had the water change draining system that I had come up with, and I showed you how that worked and how quick it was. I want to talk about filling the tanks and if there's an efficient way to do that, but it's a little bit involved, but I'll make a separate episode on that. I think it'll be interesting. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you're having a great day. Feed your passion. Take the plunge.